Live from Studio 5 in New York City, this is the News at 6.
All right, welcome back, and now to our feature story for you tonight. You know, different things are important to different people when they shop. For some, it's price. For others, it's the quality. But as Stacey Delicat shows us now, for many, it's also the Made in America label. Check it out.
A block from the Brooklyn Navy Yard, workers at Joya are polishing porcelain, pouring hot wax molds, and carefully crafting packaging.
Everything is done by hand, and each individual piece has its own image as a result of that.
Joya's products, high-end candles, perfumes, and air fresheners, are sold all over the world, but they're all made right here in Brooklyn. And the people behind the company pride themselves on the fact that nearly all of the materials they used are sourced domestically.
From the vessels that we use to the packaging materials. Packaging comes from one of our main companies, comes from Rhode Island. The vessels that we get come from Ohio. Operations
manager Myra Miranda says customers are seeking out products that are made in the USA.
It's something that people have been talking about for the past, 4, 5, 6 years now. So it is getting a lot of attention.
Buying products made in America means supporting American jobs. Joya employs 15 people year-round, along with a number of part-time seasonal workers.
After years of steep declines, American manufacturing is finally seeing a bit of a resurgence. And here in New York City, 1,000 manufacturing jobs were added just since 2011, according to the Center for an Urban Future.
At least the trend is no longer jobs shifting overseas in New York and other states. There are some jobs coming back.
Scott Paul is the president of the nonprofit Alliance for American Manufacturing and says in recent years, even mega retailers like Walmart have started highlighting products made in the USA.
They have a long way to go, but I think it's some evidence that consumers are really interested in buying local products.
One challenge for American manufacturers is that labor costs are much higher here than in places like China, and that means a higher price tag for products. But many people say they don't mind paying that premium.
I just think it's important to support people of the United States.
Are you willing to pay a little more for something that's
Absolutely. Made? Yeah, absolutely. It's quality.
Back in 2012, President Obama set a goal of creating 1 million manufacturing jobs by the end of his second term. But with just about a year to go, it seems unlikely the goal will be met. The Alliance for American Manufacturing says 629,000 jobs would still need to be created by January of 2017. Stacey Delicat, Fox 5 News.
Thank you very much, Stacey. Great story. We love talking about this. Joining me right now, Mark DiMassimo, DiMassimo Goldstein Advertising Agency. You guys do great work. And you know all about what's going on, this Made in America movement. Is it really catching on? Is this the real thing now or what?
Oh, my God. The Made in America movement and the maker movement in America has the makings of a mega trend. It's a huge deal.
So it's not just hype now. In other words, it's a real revival.
It's more
here
than hype. You know, 5 years ago, when it was starting, people might have said it's hype. It is huge. There are companies that have already challenged the biggest companies like
Joseph Abboud,
which is Made in America menswear, which is just roaring back.
I know, you were telling me about that.
Right. And there are malls, right, that are all Made in America products now that are doing great. There's an ad agency in Colorado called Made Movement that will only work
So they just focus on Made in America products.
Yeah,
and there are blogs, too, as well, right?
There are blogs and all kinds of people who are just joining this movement. There are centers of town filled with local breweries. People want to eat their food, right, from farm to table, which
it's
is
kind of an emotional thing, Mark, too, isn't it? You know, people go out and they buy something, as we were saying, and they feel that I'm doing something good for my country, right?
I think that's exactly right. I think what we have here with this Made in America movement is a reaction to the period that came before, which was get me the lowest price. I don't care where it comes from, right?
Yeah,
it was good for Walmart and many big companies. It was actually good for the consumer. But they got to a point where they said, you know, I want more meaning in what I buy. I want to contribute to my fellow man here in America. There are people out of work. We're not making things anymore.
But we're seeing a reverse of that now. You're saying that, you know, in the advertising business and what's happening with what you just mentioned, do you think people are willing to pay even a little bit more? Because it is costing them a little bit more sometimes when it's made in America because of salaries and so forth.
Absolutely. I think people know that, and I think for some luxury products or style products, the fact that it's made in America means it costs more, it's worth more, right? And I think also that they know that they get not just a commodity, but something with meaning, something that's different, something that maybe an artisan made.
Yes.
Right? And they feel that's worth paying a little bit more for.
Well, we're seeing a lot of that and probably a lot more, as you mentioned, in 2016. A Happy New Year to everybody. All good things made in America, and we love our country, and we love everything about it.
Thanks so much, Aaron.
Thanks so much. Good to see you, too,
Good
Mark.
to see you.
Happy New Year to you and your family. All right.